Hi ladies, this is Milan here of So Natural Wellness, and there's my sweet potatoes. Okay, they look really good. I love the nice caramelized and charring on the outside. It just gives it a little bit more character, and also it gives it a little bit more crunch, because remember from one of our previous videos where we were caramelizing sweet potatoes, and I just said that the flavor is in the browning. Here we are with our sweet potato, and it looks so beautiful. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set it up. So I love tomatoes. So basically everything that I love and I enjoy is what I'm going to put on it. The sky is the limit whenever you're making this. It all depends on what you have a taste for, what you have in your refrigerator, and whenever I'm menu planning, whenever I teach my clients how to menu plan, we always start with what you already have in your kitchen, and then we go from there. I don't like to bring a lot of food in, and now you have this refrigerator full of food, and you don't know what to do with all of it. So I like to work with what you have already, and then just bring in what you don't have. So because I'd already made the farro sweet potatoes with spinach, I had sweet potatoes left, so I decided to use them. And what better way to use them when you're waking up and you want breakfast or for a nice light lunch. So my sweet potato, I have some tomatoes. I love eggs, so I'm going to have an egg for protein. And normally the way I like to cook my eggs is I put them on high, boil them, and then for about maybe 10 minutes I turn them off, pour the hot water out, and then I dump the cold water bath. So just ice and water, and I put that in there, and that is to stop the cooking. So once I stop the cooking and it cools down, then I take all the skin off. I just try to be careful not to rip it too much, because I really like to see it beautiful look on the egg. And we're going to use an avocado, more fat, but it's a nice healthy fat, and it's very heart healthy. So the more good health that you can add into your diet, even better. We're not going to talk about how many grams of fat you need, because being a chic woman who doesn't diet, calories is not something that you talk. We don't talk calories. We don't talk weighing our food, points, any of that. It's all about what you like, what you have a taste for, and everyone's taste is completely different. Someone may like roe, someone else may not like roe. Someone you may be from a different country. Maybe in your country your diet is a certain way, so of course you're going to eat that way. So who am I to say to you not to eat this, not to eat that? It doesn't make sense, right? Right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our avocado, and I just want to give you this little tidbit of information, because sweet avocados, sometimes it's really hard to tell if it's ripe or if it's ready. But the one way that you can tell if it's ready is you see this stem? Take the stem out. Well, try to put it back in at the grocery store, but lift it out at the grocery store. This is right when you're getting ready to purchase it. When you're getting ready to purchase the avocado, lift this out. Look at the inside. I hope you can see. Look at the inside, and if it is green, that means your avocado is ripe. If you lift this stem out and your avocado is brown on the inside of that, then that means your avocado is overly ripe, and you don't want that. You don't want a brown avocado. And sometimes just by feeling it, you can't tell if it's extremely brown or if it's not or anything. So this one is fine. It's ripe. So that's what I usually do. And if it's perfect for me, the inside is still a little green, maybe with a little browning, but not much, then if I don't want it, I stick the stem back in and put it away. That's just my secret. But don't tell anybody that. Just don't let them see you doing it at the store. So we're going to cut our avocado. This one has a very small nut. So I was able to, this is the first time I've seen it actually. And this is the very first time I've ever actually been able to cut right through it. So it's very soft. I picked this up at Whole Foods. I don't know, maybe all of their avocados are like that. I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna gently, if I can, lift this out without. So I don't want to tear it because I want it to look really nice and pretty. So what I'm gonna do, since I'm not gonna tear it, I'm just gonna lay it on a bias and cut like that. So on a bias means that you're cutting it on an angle. You guys are getting so many little tidbits here. So I'm just going to cut it on an angle like that. And when you cut it on an angle, you see how pretty that is? You have these nice little cute slices. But you won't be able to do this with your typical avocado because the avocado has a hard nut in the inside. So what I was intending to do, if it was sticking up round, once you cut it around and then you twist it to cut it off, you just be careful with your fingers, hit the nut with the knife, the blade of the knife, and then twist it and then take it right out and then just take it off the knife. So that's typically what I usually do. But since I don't have to do that now, I'm going to unpeel my avocado and I want to show you, and I'm putting it on right here just like that. And if you're wondering where am I putting this, but first I'm going to put this on, then I'll show you what I'm doing on the other side. There's just so much about cooking and elements of it that I just get excited about. So once we have this nicely pretty, here I want to show you, this is what I use to keep my kitchen clean when I'm cooking. First of all, I only cook in a small space. Most professional kitchens, they don't have a lot of space to work in, so you work in a very small space. And the reason I work in a small space is because I move my cutting board from my larger counter to a smaller one, because that means that I can be careful in how much of a mess that I make. So whatever I take away, any refuse, I just put it in here. I just keep this little jar, I sit it over to the counter and I keep it in there. And then once I'm finished, even plastic, everything, unless you're composting food, then your plastic everything goes in here and then it goes into the garbage. So that's what I typically do. So I leave it over to the side. So this is my sweet potato that I'm already starting to put really nice and pretty avocado on top. I let the potato cool a little because I wanted to be able to touch it. And now we're going to take some tomatoes. Let's get this out of the way. So now we're going to take our tomato, and because I already started with that cut, I want the exact same thing. So I want the very same type of cut for my sweet potato toast. Nice small slices. So I'm going to put that on the top as well. I'm only going to do 3 because I still want to be able to eat it, and whenever you're eating, of course, it should be in nice bite-sized pieces. So I'm going to put that on the top as well. So see how it's coming together? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some microgreens. Microgreens, I love them. You can get them in the greens section of your grocery store. And whenever you're choosing greens, try to pick a variety of them. Don't just choose the same ones all the time. Don't always go for romaine. But actually, romaine has been having such a scare lately, you may not want to try those. But try not to just use the same ones all the time. So I'm going to use, these are microgreens, which I picked up, and they are so beautiful. Look. And they're very dainty. I call these the feminine of the greens, the most feminine, because they are so beautiful. And so these are fresh microgreens, and what's in it is here. Daikon radish, organic red cabbage, and organic arugula. I think I picked these up at Whole Foods. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to put this on just like that because I want it to look really, really, really pretty. And The last thing I'm going to do, you know, I want a little salt because salt makes everything taste so much better. And the last thing I want is I want to take my egg, slice it in half, and remember I told you I like my egg a little soft, so this is going to go on top, just like that. Really, this is exactly how I'm going to eat it. And this piece is going to go on top. So there you have it. And it needs a little something extra because I just feel it's missing some color. And whenever you're cooking starts with the eyes. So we always eat with our eyes first. And once I just want to let you know about the sweet potato. When I cooked it, I had it on very high heat, 425. And I usually cook food on a high heat if I'm putting it in the stove. Depends on what it is, because I don't want to be in the kitchen all day. When I grew up with my mother, and well, not with just my mother. When I grew up, my mama, and she was in the kitchen all day. And I would go crazy because I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I never want to cook when I get older, because if it means being in the kitchen all day, oh, what a life. So I didn't want to do that. So I determined once I got older, I would never be in the kitchen all day. So 425 is where I set my oven. It gave me that nice, beautiful brown. But just really remember and pay attention, be focused that you do have something in the oven at 425. Because you can walk away and forget that. If you think you may forget and get distracted, then just set your timer. Set your timer for 425. So my battery's getting low, so we're going to wrap this video up. Last thing I'm going to do is drizzle some, this is a balsamic cream. I just think everything needs to be beautiful. And there we have it. There's your avocado toast. Thank you. Until our next video together, enjoy this segment of how to make sweet potato toast, and I will talk to you soon. And until then, stay beautiful and healthy.